Hey, the coaching industry is so much more saturated than it's ever been. And I'm going to talk to you about how you can still dominate in 2025. Now, there's more coaches than ever in 2025. Almost everybody and their dog wants to become a coach, right? And for good reasons many of the times. But sometimes, they're just using AI. They're not standing out. They're copy pasting from different people. They don't have the real life experience or the real business experience. So this is where you have to get a little bit more detailed and a little bit more flexing in terms of your personality. So here's the thing. You have to be seen as the only choice. You got to pick a micro niche so that you become a specialist in that one thing, okay? It's easier entry these days. Anybody can do it. Anybody can go into AI and say, hey, design me this, design me that, design me this, design me that. They probably purchase a course from someone else. They just plagiarize that and just change it into their own thing. And it's good to be resourceful. I'm not bagging everybody for doing what they do. Sometimes you got to be creative, but to become a real business person in the coaching space, I'm talking about somebody that's going to scale to 7 figures and beyond, like I did within 18 months, doing most of the wrong things, by the way, fluking it in the beginning especially. I realized you have to do a couple of things to really build a solid long-term business. So the old model, you could be in the red ocean and it's probably fine. But now, because the industry is growing towards 1 trillion, it's harder. It's just harder to be in that red ocean. So separate yourself, create this blue ocean of yours that just splits you apart from everybody else. Just even positioning. See, the thing is, a lot of the times, what's inside the actual product is similar. It's the packaging that's different. You see what I'm saying? I was just speaking to my wife before about, there's a burger place here in Australia, and it's called the Burgatory, right? And I was talking to my wife and I said, hey, at the end of the day, they actually sell burgers. That's what they sell. But what they do, they induce, charcoal into the bread and make it black. They call it all these different names and spicing it up and do this and do a couple of different things to brand themselves. And so that's just an idea. That's just an idea that you can't just sell food anymore. You've got to spicing up the name of the food. You've got to put different spices in the food. You know what I mean? So you got to change a couple of components to make it sound exciting, because if someone else is looking at you and looking at what you offer, they've got something called coaching fatigue, or it could be if you're advertising, which you don't need to when you're new. You have to first learn your positioning when you're new. You honestly have to learn what your messaging is, and so you got to test it first. But there's so many ads these days that you'd see the same thing from a different person, and you're like, oh, heard that before. How can you be different? You have to have a micro niche. And sometimes we get scared of that. And I get it, because I thought to myself, I've got this skill, I've got that skill, I've got this other skill. Why would I limit myself to just, you know what I mean? And as we grow, we're actually finding ourselves niching down a little bit more. So you can't be just a fitness coach. You got to be something like, for busy dads who want to lose weight without the gym. So get blue ocean, all right? Shift from services to a system. So if you can develop a system and you make it your own framework, this makes you unique. Something like a unique mechanism that you own. It's trademarked, right? That's what you want to start doing and thinking like. You want to think of ownership. Don't just get into a niche. Don't just start a program in a niche. Don't just get into coaching in a niche. Own your niche. Try to own your niche, all right? So for example, shifting from services to a system could be the 90-day confident CEO program instead of business coaching. Of course, you can get much deeper than that. I'm just giving you a very basic, quick video. And so here's the thing. If you can just develop some authority and get really good with your influence content. Now, it's not just content. I see so many people putting up content. I see in a second that it's from AI. And it's not like AI can't give you any data or any ideas. Of course it can. But you've got to be real. And too many people now are starting to use AI in a way where it just, it's AI. So if you're going to use it as your mastermind brain, the idea brain. But you got to finish the final product at the end, or at least wrap it and make it look like the final product is 100% from you. So create content that educates and challenges industry norms. You got to be a little bit different, okay? You got to be polarizing. You got to be real. You got to share your character. You got to share connection with people. You got to show that you're a human being. You got to show your humor. Be yourself, because people love personal brands, not just a business brand, not just I can coach you this and I can coach you that all the time. They love to connect with people. So here's the thing. I want you guys to drop your niche below, and I'd love to hear from you. What's your positioning in the marketplace? What is your positioning in the marketplace? And here's another question for you. How can you deepen that positioning in the marketplace? All right. And this is where you could use AI. You can go to AI and actually put it in there. How can I separate myself from everybody else and go more blue ocean? Rate me from 1 to 10 in terms of how blue ocean I am. 10 is blue ocean. 1 is red ocean, and really do some deep homework and deep research. It's time to use our brains. It's time to get deep. It's time to get serious. You know, get out of the hobby phase. Don't look like everybody else, because if you do, they're going to go to the trusted source. They're going to go to the other person that has more reviews than you, the other person that's been around for longer than you. They've got more testimonials. So in 2025, you want to stand out. That's the key here. 2025 and beyond, you want to build a personal brand, and it might take some time. Short, doesn't matter. Are you here for a short time or are you here for a long time? You decide on that. So micro niche, signature system, authority content, and that's a winning formula. And just show up as your best self and just become a better person altogether. Become more influential in the way you use your language. Become more of a pull marketer rather than a push marketer. And we're going to go into deeper content in this channel. This is the first video I do for a while, actually. So follow the channel, subscribe, and I'm just going to be releasing a bunch of content that's going to help you. And if you want to follow my groups on Facebook, we've got a group. I'll put the link in the description below. I'll put all my links to follow me on social media. I run monthly challenges at the moment in 2025, March 2025. They are free. They're probably not going to be free forever, but I invite you to come down. Check out the link below. We're going to be teaching you things that we should be charging for, but we want to add a bunch of value and build a lot of trust with you. So I'll see you there. Take care. Bye-bye.